Okay, so this is Zeron for Terrible, Terrible Damage, bringing you an unfortunate game because this will not be a normal cast of a game. This is a game that I just played on the ladder and that I am quite confident was up against a map hacker. So, map hacking, that lets you basically see what's being produced by your opponent, see anything on the map from your opponent, see his army movements, that kind of thing. It depends on which one you use. There's different ones out there. I haven't personally gotten to use any of them because I don't really care, but I've seen videos, and for example there could be a production tab. So first I'll speed through the game to show you what happened. So it's not like it's a super suspicious game at first glance, but basically I do a 2-Rax opener as Terran against Protoss. I just like to do the early pressure. It's just a preference thing. It's not as economical as 1-Rax expand, but whatever. That's not what we're here to talk about. What made me, what threw me off initially was how many units he had out after a 1-gate FE. Because as you'll see here, I move out. Lagging a little bit there. Yeah, so this push fails miserably. Normally I can trade pretty evenly, but he had just way too many units and reinforcements. So I knew he could just push back and kill me, so I just gave it up right there. So when I was looking at the build order tab, I was wondering, how do you have so many units? I looked at the build order tab, saw 4 gateways immediately after the Nexus, which is really weird. So I looked at the replay to see what he was doing, and now I'll point out to you what was particularly suspicious. Well, one thing is, the first thing is that he never scouts ever, which isn't, anything on its own. You'll see people do this sometimes. That's fine. But let me just get straight to the point, and the main problem here. Everything normal so far, fine. You're not scouting, whatever. And hey, if you're not scouting, maybe you want to be extra safe, and maybe this is how this guy feels safe, is adding on a lot of production. Alright, whatever. He's chrono boosting out Warp Gate entirely. Now here's the thing. It was at, let's go, it's at 5:45 is the first thing we want to see. Now if we just watch it at normal speed, we're not going to notice anything. Basically here he sends out a probe to scout. Actually, let me see something. Was he selected? Yeah. So anyway, he sends out a probe to scout, right? But the thing is, it's not out to scout. He actually sends it out to my 3rd. You'll see the click right there. So he's actually sending out this probe directly to my 3rd. Now, one thing that you could say is that he saw my scouting SCV for where it went. I always look for this when a scout goes out and I haven't found my opponent, like if it's really early or something, or if I'm just not scouting. So if he saw which direction my scout went, he could tell where I was, but he didn't see that. He didn't see that at all. So the only other thing he could do is if he's feeling really risky, he could, based on my scout timing, assume where I was out of typical scouting patterns. Like normally you'll go from the position where the ramp is facing your main is normally the scout pattern. So I would go here to here to here, meaning I would scout him last, which would match up with that timing on the depot scout. Okay, so it's very suspicious, but it's not conclusive. What I do believe is conclusive is what happens at 6 minutes. Let's watch watch this probe. Watch this probe, and we'll just have it on his vision, okay? So he's moving out, right? He's going to that spot up at the 30. So, oh no, he's going to go to the watchtower instead. Okay. Okay, now he's going to go over to the 3rd. Let's watch the same thing, but from everyone's camera point. Oh, look, my army's moving out right now. better dodge that army so it doesn't kill my probe putting down the proxy. So he's going to put down a proxy pylon at the 3rd for the base that he never scouted, including dodging my army moving out without being able to see the army after sending it initially directly there, then going to the watchtower first, while doing a build that is completely contrary to the opener that you did in response to the opener that your opponent is doing. And chrono boosting out warp gates, and just this to me was pretty conclusive. Mainly that probe movement, dodging the army through the fog of war. Really? Really pick me up? Are you really a pick me up? Nope. No. So that's my run-in with a Maphacker, and that's really the only first one I've ever really thought that I ran into a Maphacker on the ladder. So maybe I'm crazy. You can tell me if I am, but that looked pretty conclusive to me.